Well, good evening and welcome to the Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series live at Michigan International Speedway tonight. We are on chase race number 2 of the season for the Cup Series here. They're going to have 5 chase events. It's like the 12th race of the season. If you just join us tonight for the first time, make sure if you like it, give the video a like, subscribe if you want to see more of these guys on Thursday night. And we're going to be sure to bring you all of the action. To jump in some Discord channels here and get everything going, but we got about 7.5 minutes left of practice, so I'm going to let a couple more viewers join in, and we'll go ahead and throw the chase bracket up and take a look at the chase standings as they are, or the points standings, rather. This is going to be a cutoff race, and what that means is we're coming in with 12 drivers that were locked into the chase, and after this week and this particular race, that number is going to go down to 8. So 4 drivers are set to be eliminated right here at Michigan tonight in the Hyperdrive Cup Series. It's going to be an exciting race. If you haven't joined a Thursday night stream with these guys, they put on one heck of a show. And I'm Vern Bradley, your commentator. I'm going to do my best to put on a heck of a show for you in the booth tonight. I try it every Thursday night, so I'll work hard at it tonight. Sometimes I even have a little humor I can add into it, but we'll just see how that goes tonight. But we do have about 6 minutes of practice right now. So we're going to work on the camera views a little bit here and see what we got, what we can work with. Maybe if I hook the cameras up, they'll work properly. So here we go. You're on board with the 17 of Tommy Haynes. He is one of those 12 chase drivers looking for a spot here after Michigan to move into the final, or the next round of 8 drivers. The final round will actually be 4. So we're going to eliminate 4 after the Michigan race. Then we're going to go 2 more races, eliminate 4 more, and those final 4 drivers will race for a championship for the Hyperdrive Cup Series. So we do have about 5 minutes left in practice right here. We're just going to go on board with a couple of these guys. Let you see what it's like to take a lap or two if you are new to iRacing. We'll let you see what a lap or two looks like. And I believe he might have just got into that outside wall a little bit with that right front. I think I heard it. And I do see that the fender and the hood there is definitely crinkled up a little bit. And I definitely want to thank everybody who tunes into these. We need to get that view count up. I'm going to be good about sharing the stream on Facebook, different places to kind of get this thing rolling a little bit better. These guys put on a heck of a show. If you haven't seen the Hyperdrive Cup Series in action, you're going to be in for a treat. They run these races with very few caution flags. These drivers are competitive, they're fast, and they have great sportsmanship. Those are what it takes to be able to put on a good show and a good race, and they do it consistently every Thursday. So 3 minutes left before we go into qualifying. We're going to change cameras for a second and take a look at the paint job on that 17 car. And probably take one more quick break before we get done with practice here. All right, I'm back. We got about 20 seconds left in practice right here, and we're going to jump into qualifying. You see a couple of teammates right there, the 28, Andrew Mraz, the 51 there, Michael Mueller. I'll tell you, the 51 has a little bit of work to do. He's what is he, number 2 on the speed charts, I believe, right behind his teammate there, the 28 of Mraz, but the 51's going to have a little work to do if he's going to get out of here and lock himself into the top 12. We'll have to take a look at the starting order when we do. I see about 20 drivers connected right now, 19 or 20, so we'll take a look and see if all 12 chase drivers are in the field, in fact. And I'll tell you, while they're in qualifying, we're going to jump on to the 10 car here. That's going to be Gary May. He's going to bring it off pit road onto the racetrack to make his qualifying attempt here. Got about 4.5 minutes of qualifying. They'll do a quick driver's meeting, and then we'll grid up and get ready to do some racing here. So we're going to look at the chase bracket, though. Let me pull that up on your screen. You got Michael Mueller in the 51 car. Andrew Mraz in the 28. Roy Fernandez in the 3 car. Tommy Haynes in the 17. Cody Sleeper in the 01. Justin Gann, last week's winner, by the way, in the 30 car. John Wimbish in the 56. Jason Wells in the 64. Mike Franklin in the 82. Cody McFadden in the 13. Blair Patterson in the 91. And then you have the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. You see it right there on the left-hand side. That is the 12 drivers who are locked into the chase. But after tonight, 4 of these drivers will not go to the round of 8. So we're going to go from 12 after tonight to 8 drivers in the chase next week. And I can tell you, looking at the points, and you can check that out too. You'll find a link to the website right on the broadcast stream. And we'll go back to watching Gary May's qualifying run here. But you can see the point standings, the race results, the race schedule, everything right on the swift-motorsports.com. So you're welcome to go look that up. But drivers, and I mentioned Michael Mueller having trouble last week, so he's sitting 10th in points, and he's going to need a decent run here or even a win to lock himself into that top 8. The first driver, though, on the outside looking in, and he's about 5 points back, is the 0-1 of Cody Sleeper. Cody showed some consistency throughout the season, especially through the latter part, and he got himself locked into the chase. So we'll see if Cody can make something happen here at Michigan and bounce himself in the top 8. Looking back in 11th, you have Cody McFadden. I believe he did make the race last week, but I believe he also had some bad luck. So McFadden's going to need he's 25 points back, so, man, I mean, he almost need to put that thing in victory lane. And the same goes for John Wimbish, and I do know that Wimbish missed last week. So that really kind of put him on the outside looking in, only getting 2 races to maximize your points to get into that top 8. So it's going to be really interesting. We're on the 3 car right now on the track. Got about a minute and a half left of qualifying. That's going to be Roy Fernandez in the 3. Roy's been showing a lot of speed. I wouldn't expect Michigan to be any different. So he's going to bring it down pit road. Tommy Haynes is going to get stopped on the track there. Get on board with the 32 of Darren Clement. And Clement's going to bring it to pit road. We got about 50 seconds left in qualifying. So this is going to be the 18 right here at KC Duncan. So KC's going to try to get his qualifying finished up. And he's going to finish that lap before qualifying's over. There's about 4 seconds left in qualifying. And when it finishes up, like right now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our starting grid. Starting on the pole at Michigan Speedway for the Hyperdrive Cup Series is going to be the number 11 of Gary Wells. Starting second, right to his outside, is going to be that number 91 of Blair Patterson. Starting third tonight, you'll see the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Good-looking paint job on Tommy's car tonight. Right outside him in fourth, you'll see that 32 of Darren Clement. Starting fifth, he needs a good run, and he may even need a win right here. That's the 13 of Cody McFadden. To his outside in sixth is going to be the number 82 of Mike Franklin. Starting seventh, you'll see that 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. Cogswell's one of the 12 drivers racing to get in that final 8 after tonight here. In his outside in eighth, that's going to be one of the fast guys, the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Ninth, last week's winner, showed a lot of speed, a lot of strength, and he got the win, sitting in a good position to lock himself into the next round of 8 drivers is the 30 of Justin Gann. To his outside in 10th, we watched his qualifying run. That's Gary May in the number 10. Starting 11th, Brandon Freese in the 21 car. In his outside in 12th, this cat right here needs a good run to lock himself in the top 8. He's 9th in points right now. So he could very well come out of here with a top 8 in points and move on to the next round. That's the 0-1 of Cody Sleeper. 13th tonight is going to be the number 18 of Casey Duncan, and his outside in 14th is going to be John Wimbish, driver of the 56 car. Starting 15th, you're going to see the number 3 of Roy Fernandez, and his outside in 16th will be the 64 of Jason Wells. Starting 17th, Keith Vaughn's back. He missed last week, but Keith said he'd be back this week, and he's here in the 23 car. And his outside in 18th, this guy right here needs a good run tonight. That's going to be Michael Mueller in the 51. 19th, it's going to show Andy Starcher. He's an admin. But in 20th, we're going to have that 33 car of Terry Kahn. 21st will show Don Kidder. He's also an admin, won't be making a start here tonight. And that is your starting grid for the Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series at Michigan. Chase race number 2, race number 12 on the season. And they are, it says they're lining up, and I think Franklin's, there we go. Michigan's one of those tracks where they line them up in an angle on pit road, and I really like that. You're taking a look at the Black Rifle Coffee Company car. That's the number 82 right there, Mike Franklin. Franklin, one of the 12, going for 8 spots, and he's sitting in a good spot. Actually, he's 7th in points, so he's one above that 8th place cutoff. So Mike Franklin going to look for a solid top 10 finish here and try to lock himself into the chase, or the round of 8 of the chase. I don't know. It's come next week. If you don't hit the top 8 in points after tonight, then you won't make the round of 8. I will get it figured out as I get some stuff situated right here. Well, that didn't work. Nope, that didn't either. You see Cogswell in the 27 car right next to the 82 right here. Gary May in the 10, sitting next to the 21 of Brandon Freeze. There's the 30 of Justin Gann. 91 right there, Blair Patterson. The number 11 going to be Gary Wells. We'll go back and find the 3 here. Roy Fernandez sitting next to the 56 of John Wimbish, the 64 Jason Wells. And then back next to that 64 is going to be Keith Vaughn's number 23. There's Tommy Haynes, 17. Good-looking paint job on that car this week. He may have had it on there last week, but I don't recall it. But he might have. We're going up, back up around these guys. There's the 28 right there, Andrew Mraz. Mraz definitely going to be one to keep an eye on here at Michigan. Him and the teammate, his teammate, the 51 of Michael Mueller. And we're just going through some different cars right here. And I don't think my timing and scoring's playing nicely. We're going to reload that up and try to fix it. Get up on the front row right here. Well, close to it. All right, now we're up to the front. Right on the number 11 right there, Gary Wells, pacing behind the pace car. So we're going to get ready to go green flag racing real quickly. Green flag pit stops, slowing that thing down to pit road speed limit will be a thing here at Michigan tonight. These guys do long green flag runs. They make green flag pit stops, and when you do that, it increases your chances to get a penalty on pit road. So they're going to have to watch out for that if they want to have a good finish here at Michigan. And I'm looking forward to another great race. Pace car is dipped down to the bottom of the track. Going to find his way to pit road, and we're going to go green flag and racing in Michigan with a Hyperdrive Cup Series at Swift Motorsports. And man, that 11 of Gary Wells, shout out to him putting that car on the pole. He's going to get a great start right here. Pull out to about 3 or 4 car lengths, and there's a battle for second behind him. Right behind that, there's a battle inside the top 5. You see the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Who else is there? 13. Cody McFadden, 32, Darren Clement. They're battling side by side. That 28 not wasting any time, heading to the front of the field. The 27 of Jonathan Cogswell is going to try to pick up a spot on that 32 as well. Mraz right here is going to fall right in line behind the 82 of Mike Franklin. Franklin side by side with the 91 of Blair Patterson. We got a green flag and we got a race, and we got a lead change as well. Tommy Haynes in the 17, going to put it out front. You see these drivers working a draft around here with this Cup car. Michigan's a big, big track. Whew, close racing between the 28 and the 82. The 28 is going to get them cleared. That's going to move Mraz up to the 4th spot. Battling right here with the 91 right behind Blair Patterson. The 11 of Gary Wells stuck out on the outside. I think Gary's going to get a little bit of help from that 82, though. Oh, we got a wreck. Oh, man, you hate to see it for this driver right here. One of the ones that go around in this deal. But let's take a look on the replay system to see what happened to that 28 car. It's going to bring out caution number 1 at Michigan. Oh. He almost had it saved. It looked like a little contact maybe with the 11 car of Gary Wells. And, man, that's going to put Wells hard into the inside wall. We'll have to take another look at that with the 11. Change the camera view a little bit, get a little closer look right here, and we'll just back it up one more time. So we're keeping an eye on the 11 right here, Gary Wells, and the 28 of Andrew Mraz, and there's a little contact right there. The 11's going to go hard into the inside wall. Well, actually slowed it down more than what I thought he did, so he still hit it pretty hard. But the damage don't really look too severe on it. So maybe the pit crew can get them tuned up pretty good, patched back up, fixed up, back out on the racetrack. Then we're going to go to the front of the field. Tommy Haynes is going to lead them to pit road with the 17. And this will be caution number 1 on lap 4. Thank you for tuning in to the broadcast. I am Vern Bradley in the broadcast booth and tonight here at Swift Motorsports, and you are watching a Hyperdrive Cup Series. You got a favorite driver you want to give a shout out to? Put it in the chat right there on YouTube. Those guys will look at that live chat when they rewatch a broadcast later. Looks like Tommy Haynes is going to lead them off pit road, win the race off pit road here. Actually, it's going to be the 91 of Blair Patterson being scored as the leader, and the 56 of John Wimbish is going to be P2 right there. I think these two might have decided to stay out. And in fact, they have. They are the only two cars who stayed out during that caution flag. It's like all the other drivers made it to pit road. These bigger tracks, a little bit longer to pace, but we'll be back to racing before you know it. Green flag racing, anyway. Have to look at that pace car again, see when the lights go out. And the lights are out on the pace car, it looks like. So these drivers are going to get 2 by 2 right here, and we're going to get ready for a restart. Your leader on the restart, once again, though, the 91 of Blair Patterson. And that's going to be Virtuous staying out on the racetrack while a lot of the other cars went to pit road. The 91 and 56 kept it out there. So they should possibly still have a little bit of heat in their tires. Maybe help them fire off on this restart here. This is a 113 lap race tonight we're doing here. See him 2 by 2 right here. Pace car taking a look to the bottom of the track. Now he's going to head to pit road. And we're going to go back to green flag racing with the Hyperdrive Cup Series. Blair Patterson leading them out right here. John Wimbish back there in P2 spot. Wimbish, though, is going to have a little bit of a battle for that P2 spot with the 17 of Tommy Haynes. And it looks like Tommy Haynes might prevail. He's got the, I believe that might be Franklin in the 82 behind him, Mike Franklin. And it is. Look at the draft. The 82 and 17 are going to try to take that draft right up to P1 and 2. And it definitely is going to give the 17 a nice shove. He's going to go to the top spot. And it looks like the 82 is going to get a little help from the 56. And that'll move that Black Rifle Coffee Company car up to the P2 spot and in a battle for that top spot with the 17. Oh, side by side, real close racing right there. Coming down the back straightaway, still side by side for the lead right here on lap 8. Side by side for second. Actually, that'd be third and fourth, but who's counting that far back? 82. Mike Franklin go to the front momentarily. But look at that 30 of Justin Gann moving into the picture. They're lined up inside, outside. The draft is on. Franklin, though, is going to come off that bottom line. He will have the lead right here down the back straightaway, but the 56 is getting a good push from the 30 of Justin Gann. So that inside line is going to come storming back on him right here. You see Michael Mueller starting in the back of the field in that 51. He's going to work his way up to the front right here. And the 82 going to take a draft and go to the bottom. Mike Franklin's going to try to go back to the front. Franklin, 30 car right there. Justin Gann, side by side for second with the 56 of John Wimbish. I told you it'd be exciting. Lap 10, we got a race. 30 and 17, really close right there. Really close once more in the corner. A little bit of side drafting maybe, I don't know. But the 30's kind of by itself for a moment. That 32 needs to get up there and close on him to help him, or 51 move down. 30 has no help. 17's going to get him cleared. He'll go to the bottom of the track. 30's riding in the middle of the track. That's one thing about these big tracks with the Cup package. You have to have help. If you're going to go anywhere, you're going to need help to do it. You see the 17 of Tommy Haynes had a little bit of help, and he's going to take it right to the front of the field. Maybe. Nope, he lost his help. Now the 82's got help from the 56, and that might not end well for the 17, and it doesn't. Now the 82 goes back to the front. Oh, 17 was loose, but he saves it. We'll call that a moment. That car, I don't know if it's just a setup here or what, but it was definitely looked like it was trying to kick out on him there. He's going to drop back a few spots right here. Gann's going to move into the third spot with the 51 of Michael Mueller behind him. You see the 32 of Darren Clement back there in fifth. Your leader, though, the 82 of Mike Franklin, getting a little bit of help from that 56 of John Wimbish. Gann in the third spot. 51 Michael Mueller sitting back there in the fourth spot. And here's a lead battle. 56 drops to the bottom. Help from the 30. And the 51, I don't know if he's going to stay with the 82. It looks like he's going to stay on the outside there with the 82. And I think the 30 of Justin Gann's going to try to do a 2-for-1 right here. Gann's going to go from third to first. We'll see if he can get a good enough push from the 82 to clear him, and I believe he does. Yes, Justin Gann clear for the lead. The 30's going to move up, and I think he's going to stay up there and get a draft from the 56 of John Wimbish right here. That outside line looks like it's a little bit, well, it did look like it was together a little bit. 56, 51 working closely together. Bottom line, Mike Franklin right now in that 82 kind of by himself. Ooh, 32 of Clement touched the wall. They're three wide, 18, 17, 32. Casey Duncan on the bottom in the 18. 17 knows Tommy Haynes. We've seen him drop back a little bit when he got loose a couple of minutes ago. Haynes trying to fight his way back on the bottom. One of the drivers I want to check on is this car right here, the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Don't really know how much damage the 28 got. It didn't look like it was going to be too severe on his car. But Mraz is sitting back here in the 15th position. And he doesn't really have anybody right on his bumper pushing him. And it looks like the back of that car may have a little damage on it. We'll try to get a little closer. Yeah, look at that on the left rear. It looks pretty minor, though. I don't know how much it would affect the car or the speed of the car, especially in the draft right here. But there is clearly damage on the left rear of that car. He looks like he's holding with the draft fine. You can see him riding behind the 27 right there. But the 27's got a little damage on that right front. We'll have to take a look at that. Both these drivers are chase drivers, the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell and the 28 of Andrew Mraz. And the other chase driver back here is going to be the 64 Jason Wells. Wells' car looks fine, and I'm not worried about him. That 64 always seems to find his way up front at the end of these races. So my confidence in the 64 machine that he's got it figured out here at Michigan when we get closer to the end. Your leader, though, he dominated last week in that 30 car, taking it to victory lane in chase race number 1. And he's out front again in chase race number 2. But he has a hot rod behind him. That 51 Michael Mueller, 6 wins over the season. That's half the races ran in the Cup Series here at Swift this season. The 51 has been in victory lane. Chase race number 2. He's going to look for his first win of the chase. I'll tell you what, it seems like since the chase started last week, some drivers are stepping up, but one of them who stepped up big is your race leader. Justin Gann found his way to victory lane. And he's got the car out front now, and we got 3 wide for third place. Now they're going to go down to 2 wide as soon as I get the camera on them. Go figure. Look at that run the 18 of KC Duncan gets. Right on the bottom of the track. Now he's up there next to the 51. Duncan got a great push, but his help left him. The outside line is lined up, and they're going to drive right around him. Man, the 32 come right off the bumper of the 51. He's going to shoot all the way to the outside. 51's going to go try to make something happen on the bottom. He can get a little help from that 32. It might help him better, but, oh, actually he's going to do it by himself. Gann almost got stuck in the middle of a 3 wide right there. Clement's on his outside. I thought the 18 of KC Duncan was going to take a look on the bottom, but he didn't. Man, that 56 blinked a couple times. That'll make the guys around you nervous. That 32, though, Clement being really strong on the outside. Gann's going to drop back to a battle with the third, or for the third spot. And that 32 is going to go for the lead on the 51. And it's going to work. 32 is going to drive right around the 51. That's going to put Darren Clement to the top spot. Lap 21, we have a brand new leader for you. Change cameras a little bit. Take a look at some other racing. You can see third on back right here. We got pretty tight racing. 30, 17 right there, 18. KC Duncan, Justin Gann, Tommy Haynes. Looks like the 56 is back there with them. It's John Wimbish, Blair Patterson in the 91 right there, next to Wimbish. They thought about 3 wide for third. Gann's in a battle to keep the third spot. He's getting help from the 17. You see KC Duncan in 18, a little help from the 56 right there. Third place is still contested, and I'll tell you who likes that. That's right, the 2 guys up front. They're looking out their rearview mirrors, watching that side-by-side battle, and keep battling that way, guys. Because that allows the 32 and the 51 to hook up a little bit and put a little bit of distance on the ones behind them. You take a look at that in a little larger view right here. And you can see that they've opened up, them first 2 have opened up a little bit of a gap right here. We're going to go back to that battle, though. KC Duncan still battling on the bottom in the 18 car. Duncan's been strong down there for a little while now. Justin Gann, though, on the top, not giving it up. I think Duncan might have almost had him cleared right there. See if he can clear him off the corner, and he can't. Gann's going to fight back on the outside again. That's the draft package in the Cup car. You're either going to love it as a driver or you're going to hate it. There ain't no 2 ways about it. We heard that in driver interviews last week after the race. This draft package, you either love it or you hate it. See Wimbish right there in the 56. You see Duncan, though, in the 18 that's going to take the third spot. Casey Duncan having a really good run here at Michigan. Man, I think that was Wimbish that might have blinked back there again. That 56 car gets me a little bit nervous when I see it. I think I'd be a lot more nervous if I was in the 13 car right there next to him, Cody McFadden's driver's seat. I think Gann might have dropped back another spot there as the 17 of Tommy Haynes is going to get by him. You see the 91 right here, Blair Patterson moving to the bottom with the South Point car. I think Patterson might go for a spot right here. So we're watching that South Point car. Well, I thought we were. Now we are. You see the 13 of Cody McFadden get by him right here. Cody needs a good run to lock himself in that top 8. And there's still plenty of laps to go in this race as the 13 is going to race the 30 for a position. He's going to get around him right here. So I don't know if Gann pushed the tires a little bit or if maybe he's saving back on him a little longer in the run. Or I don't know if the tires are happy or angry. But the 30 is starting to fade back a little bit as now the 82 of Mike Franklin's going to go by right here. We had a couple of guys that stayed out. One of them was the 56 of Wimbish on that restart, which would have gave them about, probably 4 or 5 laps less on fuel than what some of the guys in the that pitted were. So the 56 will definitely be one of the first ones to pit road. Darren Clement in the 32, still the leader. He's got about a half a second opened up on the 51 right here, Michael Mueller. Back in third now is going to be the 18 of Casey Duncan, and he's kind of he's reeling that 51 in a little bit. And behind him is going to be the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Cody McFadden's going to round out your top 5 right down the 13 car. Mike Franklin's 82 car. Be sitting in 6th spot. And Justin Gann is going to drop back to the 7th position. Right behind Gann is going to be the 3 of Roy Fernandez, and that 3 car's got a nice dent in the back bumper. Let's see if we can take a little bit closer look at that. Oh, yeah. Somewhere there's a front end of somebody's car that matches the back bumper of this car, I can bet you. I don't know whose front end matches that back bumper, but somebody's does. But you can see it's not really affecting the 3 as he's going to try to go around Gann right here. And the 3 of Roy Fernandez is going to take the spot and move up to 7th. So it doesn't look like the damage is affecting him. You see Freeze right there in the 21's, the next one coming up to Gann's bumper and going to go to work on him. Freeze is going to drop the 21 down to the bottom, pick up the spot. But this is a point where the tires start to wear a little bit. You'll see cars coming forward and cars going backwards. And you want to try to make it and be one of the guys going forward. And yeah, I told you there'd be guys making pit stops, and we have some that have already come down pit road. Wimbish, the 56, the 91 of Blair Patterson. Those cars have already been to pit road, so I'd expect within the next 3 or 4 laps that you'll see some of these other guys make it there. Your leader now is going to be scored as the 82 of Mike Franklin. You got Brandon Freeze back in 2nd in the 21, and you see cars coming off the pit road. So green flag pit stops are happening on lap 33. Mike Franklin has not made his green flag stop yet with the 82 car, but I expect that'll be coming pretty soon right here. It could be this time as I hear him get out of the throttle coming out of turn 4. He's going to move down to the bottom of the racetrack, and here comes the 82. Franklin to pit road. He's got a few takers behind him. This is where you got to be careful. You can definitely, you're not going to win it on lap 34 on a pit road entry, but you can definitely lose the race on lap 34 on a pit road entry. So that's one of the things these drivers have to be careful about. As I'm going to take us back to the front of the field, we're going to find the 10 car of Gary May. Wow, the 28 went by him so fast. I think it took the paint right off the side of the 10 car. That 10 of Gary May is going to bring it to pit road and make his pit stops right now. And when it cycles through, yep, this guy's been to pit road, and he's going to be your race leader after this cycles out. So Michael Mueller in the 51 going to move up to the front. Mueller coming out of 4 here, across the start-finish line. We'll see how big of a lead he comes out with. Not much, less than 1 second. And that 1 second advantage is going to be over this driver. That's the 32 of Darren Clement. And as I recall, before they started making the pit stops, I believe that 32 was the leader and the 51 was in second. So now the 51 is going to come out in the lead, and the 32 is going to come out in second. Back behind them, you got the 17, side-by-side battle right there with the 91 and 56. And you got the 13 of Cody McFadden hanging on the outside, and he's got that 3-car Roy Fernandez behind him. You wanted a race? We're giving it to you. And I think since we got the green flag pit stops done, we're going to jump up on the leader and we're going to do this. Your leader for the last 3 laps after the green flag pit stops is that 51 car, Michael Mueller. You see Mueller started 18th on the field here, worked his way all the way up to the front. And he's got about 0.7 of a second on the rest of the field. And these positions are all contested. Here's the 17 currently in second, but he might lose it to the 32, or he might be gaining it from the 32. That's going to be Tommy Haynes, started third, been up here pretty much the whole 37 laps. Move back to third, and momentarily that holder of the third place position is going to be the 32 of Darren Clement. We've seen Clement up front. He's led 10 laps here before they went to that round of green flag pit stops. Clement having a great race as they're trying to draft up to the leader. So we'll go back to fourth. You'll see that 56 car, John Wimbish. Wimbish, one of those 12 chase drivers that missed last week. So that pushed Wimbish in a bad spot in the points to move to that round of 8, but we'll have to see how that works out for him here tonight. We'll go back one more. You're going to find the 3-car Fernandez. And I mentioned and pointed out that nice dent that he's got in the back bumper of that car and on that rear spoiler. But you can see he's getting help right now from the 13 of Cody McFadden, who's your 6th place driver. And he's in a battle right there for the 4th position with the 56 car. So McFadden back here in the 6th spot in the 13. One of the ones that need a good run right here. I mean, a really good finish to move on to that round of 8. So he's a driver that definitely has a lot to gain here. 7th place is going to be the 0-1 right there, Cody Sleeper. And Cody's going to make that 6th place here in a second. He does. So Sleeper started 12th position. So he's worked himself up 6 spots right here. Go back to 8th. We're going to find that 18 right there, Casey Duncan, and he's been putting on a show since about lap 2. We've seen Duncan up front battling for position. On and off that whole first run there before the green flag pit stops. Casey's having a great race here. Behind Casey Duncan, you're going to find this driver, the 91 of Blair Patterson. Patterson, along with John Wimbish in the 56 here, they stopped a little bit before these other guys, but it equaled out pretty good for them. They were about 4 or 5 laps down on fuel from the rest of the field because these are the 2 cars that had stayed out under that first caution. So they were about 4 or 5 laps down, but right when they come to pit road, it kind of started a whole domino effect where the other drivers started coming to pit road, and that pretty much is going to come close to evening them out. Some of the guys that stayed out longer, though, we're going to get back to them now. That's going to start with the 10th place driver right here, Justin Gannon, the 30. And to give you an example, Gann's working lap 8 on his tires since the pit stop, where those guys in front of him are 10 and 12 laps on their tires. So Justin Gann does have a little fresher tires than the drivers in front of him. And Brandon Freese right there in the 21 right behind him, he also is on fresher tires. And I believe this 30, 21, and 82 all come to pit road together, if I'm not mistaken. I think we were on them when they come to pit road. So Brandon Freese in the 11th spot. Back in 12th is going to be the 82 of Mike Franklin. These guys are staying in line. They're drafting together, maximizing their speed to try to catch up to that front pack. And that's what you got to do right here. Just stay in line. And when you get out, when 2 cars get next to each other, they're definitely going to go slower than 3 cars in a line. Right behind them, though, and coming up a little bit now is going to be that 28 of Andrew Mraz. Mraz currently scored in the 13th position. We've seen Mraz was actually involved in the first caution flag. So Andrew making a nice recovery right here. And if you're going to go to that round of 8 after this race here at Michigan, then you have to have a good run here. Another chase driver making his way up now is going to be the 64 Jason Wells. If you're a fan of Wells, I told you not to worry. Somehow this 64 car seems to find itself in the top 3 at the end of the night. And I think Jason's going to be in good shape here at Michigan as well. Go back to 15th. We're going to find Gary May in the 10 car. Gary's car's still clean. Don't look like it's beat up, so he's still got a piece to work with here for the rest of the race at Michigan. Gary started 10th, so he's dropped a few positions since the green flag. But I think Gary May will be just fine in the 10 car. We go back to 11th. We're going to find our pole sitter. That's Gary Wells, and Wells was with the 28 involved in that first caution flag, and I know Wells got a little damage on the front of that race car. And that damage may very well be affecting him and why he can't close up to the back of the 10 car in front of him. So you hated to see it. I know Wells had speed here. Gary Wells did as he sat the pole. And he's going to be currently back here in the 16th position right now. So we'll go to 17th. You'll find the 23 car Keith Vaughn. Vaughn started 17th, and Vaughn is 17th. So he hasn't went up, but he hasn't dropped back. Keith's just hanging on. The car looks real clean right here. And there's still plenty of time to go in the race as we're 46 laps of 113. So we'll go back to 18th, and this driver right here, I don't know if he had some trouble on pit road or he's back a little bit from the field, so not sure what happened to the 27 because we've seen him up closer to the front, but Cogswell's going to be scored in the 18th position. And the 27 car is one of the drivers who are trying to get in one of the final 8 spots. Not final 8. I got to stop saying that. The next round of 8. We have 12 chase drivers now. When we start the next race, we're going to have 8. And then we're going to go a couple more races and cut that in half and make it 4. And those 4 are going to race for a championship. So Cogswell's got to get that 27 car up there if he's going to move on to that round of 8. So we'll go to 19th, and I believe the final car on the track right now, and that's going to be that number 33 of Terry Kahn. Kahn is the only car shown a lap down with the 33. Actually, might be a couple of laps down. But, you know, a caution or two, and a guy's right back in it, right? So that's your through the field right here. We'll go back up front where we did have a lead change while we were doing through the field. That's right. The 17 of Tommy Haynes went up there and took it away from the 51 of Michael Mueller. So Haynes to the front with the 17. Mueller back to second. Darren Clement now in the third spot, and he's going to have a bumper full of the 13 of Cody McFadden. And then rounding out your top 5 is going to be that 3-car Roy Fernandez. He might have a dent in that rear bumper, but I'm telling you, it's not slowing the 3 down. Fernandez was fast last week, fast again here at Michigan. I think a driver I'm going to keep an eye on a little bit right here is in a heck of a battle. That's the 30 of Justin Gann. He's in a battle with the 91 there of Blair Patterson, 21 of Brandon Fries, 82 car Mike Franklin, 56 car John Wimbish. All these cars battling right here. And I believe we've seen the 30 working with a couple other cars. The 82 was one of them. I believe the 21 of Brandon Fries. And I think they actually ran Wimbish in the 91 down. So this might be a product of the that 3-car draft between the 30, the 21, and the 82. And now they've got themselves kind of mixed in here with the 91 and the 56. And I think they're just making their way around. You see the 21 of Brandon Fries working hard on the back of the 91 there, Blair Patterson. You got the 82 of Mike Franklin right behind him right there. And Franklin's getting a little help from the 56 of Wimbish. And this is all the way back to right outside the top 10 in the 12th spot back there where Wimbish is. So it's, in fact, 8th through 12th. You see Patterson's going to dip down to the bottom right there. And it doesn't look like the 21's going to go with them. And now the 82 and the 21 and the 30 are all lined up on the outside, and those are the 3 cars that were lined up drafting together to catch these guys. Franklin had a chance there maybe to hook up to that 21's bumper. I don't know if the draft was quite strong enough for him. As you see, the 91's going to move in line. That's going to put the 82 to the bottom. If he can pick up a draft down there, though, it'll work out for him. But it looked like the car might have got a little bit out of shape on the bottom of the track right there. We're getting close to that halfway point in the race. '91 and '56 side by side for position. You see what that 5-car battle looks like from a distance here. Meanwhile, up front, nothing has changed. Your leader is still the 17 of Tommy Haynes, 51 of Michael Mueller, still in the P2 spot. I think the only positions that changed around was third back here where Cody McFadden's at. I believe McFadden had taken that from the 32, but it looks like now the 32 of Darren Clement's going to take it back from Cody McFadden. So that'll move Clement back to third, McFadden in the 13 back to the fourth spot. And your top four are all pretty close together right here. That's one thing about them. I think the draft package with this Cup car right here at Michigan is well enough where these cars can pretty well keep themselves in a group for the entire fuel run. Which I don't know if that's good or bad or either or any, you know. I don't think it'd be a bad thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing because the guy might, want the tires to wear a bit more or the car to tighten down where you can kind of separate the field a little bit. And for the most part on this long run, with one round of green flag pit stops so far, they have separated some. So we've seen the separation in the field. Oh, the 51 is working on the lead right here, but the car got tight. He had to get out of the gas, and now the 32 and the 13 might try to take advantage of it right here. Michael Mueller looked to the inside briefly of the 17, and it looked like that 51 car got tight when he turned down there. Maybe it was aero tight. I don't know. Maybe he's pushed the tires too far. We are right now pushing the halfway point of our 113-lap race here at Michigan with the Hyperdrive Cup Series at Swift Motorsports. And we have had one caution flag, so we've only been slowed down by one caution flag, and that was early, like lap 3 or 4 of the race. Clean and green since then. One round of green flag pit stops have already taken place, and I can tell you looking up at the board there that we're getting close to round 2 now. Round 2 will be coming soon, and probably actually this driver and this driver have made their pit stops. The 91 of Blair Patterson's been to pit road. Now the 56 of John Wimbish, you can see him exiting pit road. So that's the two that pitted first the last round. And when I went back up front, I can tell you that the leaders, Tommy Haynes on pit road, the 51 of Michael Mueller, he's on pit road. Cody McFadden's on pit road. So green flag pit stops, round 2 of green flag pit stops are taking place on lap 59 right here. You see Fernandez in the 3, 0-1 right there of Cody Sleeper. Both of them are going to bring it to pit road. Gann and the 21 there, Brandon Freeze, these guys can stretch it out a few more laps here. They stopped about 4 or 5 laps later than the guys in front of them before, so they're going to be able to stretch it out just a little bit right here. And it's still those same 3 cars working together. 30 car, Justin Gann, 21 of Brandon Freeze, and the 82 of Mike Franklin. Franklin is back just a little bit on these guys right now. He's not right up on the bumper. But he's been able to maintain with them, and I think they're going to come to pit road now. The 21's going to dart to pit road. Man, hot entry. 21 bringing it in hot right there. I thought he might go around and go into that wall and really put a hurt lock on his night, but he's able to keep it together. Hopefully didn't get a speeding penalty right there. Taking a look at the 21 car right here. Brandon Freeze, going to give him a little camera time on his pit stop. And the Dynamark 21 is done with his service, headed back to the racetrack. And it didn't look like they held him on pit road, so there was no penalties there. Meanwhile, we're going to go on to the 10, who had the lead briefly, and now Gary May's going to bring it to pit road. And after pit stops right here, your leader's going to be the 13, Cody McFadden, the iBuyPower PC machine. So McFadden is going to assume the lead. That's going to put the 17 of Tommy Haynes in the second position right here, and he's right on the bumper of that 13, so definitely not far back. There goes the 17 diving to the bottom. And he's going to reassume the lead right here. Maybe. McFadden fighting back on the outside right there. 32 of Darren Clement. He's just kind of sizing up the situation in front of him. Looks like that 32 is going to go to the bumper of the 13 and give McFadden a little bit of help right here. 17 fighting hard on the bottom, though. Tommy Haynes not giving anything up. This racing's going to allow the 3-car right there of Roy Fernandez to pull up on this group. And I think we've seen this picture before. You get 4 cars lined up, 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside, and guess what? You could almost see, no, that scenario is not going to happen because the 32 is going to split the middle right here. We're 3 wide for the lead. McFadden, I think he might have backed out of it right there a little bit. Not going to push it. Still a little too early halfway through. Didn't want to take the chance on it. You wad your car up on lap 64, and that might be the difference between making the next round of 8 or being eliminated. We had 12 drivers, 12 chase drivers coming into tonight. And unfortunately, after Michigan, that number is going to go down to 8. So these guys are racing to see who makes that cutoff. Showed the chase bracket right at the beginning of the broadcast. I can tell you the guys in points coming into this race. Wimbish has already missed a race, so I don't know if winning even here tonight could help. Cody McFadden made the first race, but he had some bad luck. So that 13 really needs to make up some points here tonight to make it in. Michael Mueller in the 51 right there, another car on the outside looking in, 10th place in points, but he was only a couple behind. He's 22 out of the lead, but he's only a couple behind 9th and about 7 points behind the 8th place driver of Blair Patterson coming in. So Mueller with a good, strong finish here tonight may be able to get it done. But we got a battle up front. They're still battling for the lead. 32 on the outside, 17 of Tommy Haynes right on the inside. 32's got a little help from the 3 of Roy Fernandez. And that's going to be enough probably to push Darren Clement, that 32 car, to the lead. And then when I say that, the 17 drives it right back to the bottom. And the 17 almost had it coming off the corner right there. In fact, I think momentarily that 17 might have been clear enough to put a slide job on. But again, why chance that at 67 laps? Now the 17's going to clear him. Slide job, crossover. Just like that. 32 right back to the bottom. And now the 3 is going to go to the bottom behind him, and that's going to give the 32 a really good run to get the 17 cleared. That crossover really hurt the 17 and broke his momentum. And he's going to find himself side by side with the 3 of Roy Fernandez. Now you see McFadden and the 13 pulling up side by side, and heck, we might be 2 by 2 once again here. Clement, though, strong race car. He gets out front. He's a hard one to get up and get around. 3 wide for second. 3 cars, 17-13. They're going to go 2 wide now as the 17's going to drop out and down to the bottom. Whew. I've seen a little wiggling right there as Mueller and the 51's moving into the picture. 0-1 of Cody Sleeper. Sleeper, another one needing a good race here, and he's starting to put on a show there with the 0-1. Moving his way up there now. You got 12 chase drivers, and I don't think any one of them will tell you that they don't want to go to the round of 8. So coming in this second half of the race, these guys are going to go hard at work to get the best finish, if not win the race, and move on to that next round of 8 drivers. Haynes right there in the 17, sitting in the 3rd spot. Fernandez back and 4th in the 3 car. 51 of Michael Mueller back there rounding out the top 5 right now. And I'll tell you what, right there, that 0-1, Cody Sleeper. Back bumper full of the 51. And Sleeper was the first driver out. He was sitting 9th in points coming into tonight. So a good solid run for that 0-1 car, and I think he might lock himself into the next round of 8. I actually think that's what he's counting on right here, too. Who can blame him? You got yourself close. You just put that car up there and do the best you can to finish it off, and he's not done. That 0-1 car is going to take a look to the inside of the 51 right here. This is a battle for the 4th position. They're side by side for P4. That is going to break their momentum a little bit and allow those front guys to kind of get away from them some. I think that 0-1 is going to fall back in line behind the 51, and we're going to see how far back the 56 is. I don't think he's far back from these guys, but he don't really have anybody on his bumper pushing him either. Yeah. He's, in fact, about 1.2 seconds back from the 0-1 car. So there is a little bit of gap there. All right, side by side for the lead once again. 13, Cody McFadden. 32, Darren Clement. McFadden's going to take the lead with the iBuyPower car. And dang it, 32's crossing him over. But McFadden might get the 17 up there close enough to help him out with the draft. Nope, not going to be soon enough. It looks like the 32 might get him cleared right here. If that 17 could have got a little quicker push to the 13, I believe it would have helped him out a ton. Actually, the 13's not done yet. He's going to fight back on the outside. And he might go back to the front right here and clear the 32. He does. He's just got to pick what line he wants. So Cody McFadden needing a good run here at Michigan. And what better way to do that than to put that car at the front of the field, right? You need a good run and you put the car up front. That's a great run. Lap 76 and the 13 goes to the front of the field. Darren Clement's going to be back here battling for second with the 17 of Tommy Haynes. And Cody McFadden's going to get a little bit of breathing room right here. Up 32's coming to pit road. I'm pretty sure this is probably scheduled. Might be just a tad bit early, but again, strategy. Coming up to what's probably going to be the final pit stop of the race. It's going to be about 35 laps they'll have to run on a tank of fuel, and I think they can do it. So that, for the 32, I mean, that's right inside the pit window more than likely, and that's definitely some strategy. 0.6 of a second is the lead for this 13-car Cody McFadden. You go back to the 17 of Tommy Haynes, about 0.6 behind him right there in second. And I just seen the 32 coming off of pit road. So I don't think he's the only one with a little bit of pit strategy right here, but we'll have to wait and see how it works out for these guys. I think ultimately it'll help them in the short run, but I think it, you know, with that many laps on the tires there, talking 34, 35 laps is a long way to go. And they haven't been running that most of the race tonight. We've seen them 30 lap runs, probably 32 laps. If you don't think that extra 5 will make a difference on tires, you're thinking wrong. But maybe they think that the advantage will be enough to get them out there enough that the draft won't be a factor in it. I don't know. I'm not in the car. I'm in the booth. So we're going to see what these guys do and who makes the right call on this last pit stop. But you have to be careful not to make a mistake when you're coming to pit road. You'll be coming to pit road from full speed on the racetrack, which is different than pacing under caution. See the 51 of Michael Mueller in the third spot, behind the 17 there, Tommy Haynes. And actually, it wasn't Clement. Yeah, it was Clement in the 32 that went to pit road. And you can see what the new tires are doing. The 32's going right by these guys. He's going to go around the second place driver right there. That's going to be Tommy Haynes. And this is new tires on the 32 car, so you get to see what kind of difference those new tires make. Clement's currently sitting a lap down back in the 15th position. You see the leader, Cody McFadden, right in front of him. And we know Clement made what is probably his final pit stop of the race here. So a little bit of strategy coming from the 32 car. We'll have to see how that works out for him as he's going to drive right around the leader. So that will, in fact, put the 32 back on the lead lap at the tail end. So not a bad strategy on his part. He's going to gain a little bit of time on the racetrack and probably clearly have the lead after the pit stops are done. And he's in a position right now that if a caution were to come out, he's on the tail end of the lead lap so he doesn't lose a lap here. So, you know, the more I'm thinking about it, probably pretty good strategy from the driver of the 32's part. But your leader by 0.8 of a second, the 13 car of Cody McFadden. P2 right now, or the second position, belongs to this driver. That's the 17 of Tommy Haynes. In third right now, this driver needs a great race, the 51 of Michael Mueller. And he's doing what he can at Michigan. Mueller, once again, 6 wins on the season. Dominant driver, half the races. But later in the season and in the chase so far, he's searching for a win. Fourth place, 56 of John Wimbish. And fifth right now is going to be the 3 of Fernandez. And he's got the 30 and the 0-1 on his back bumper. They look like they're pretty content, though, in line. Not no more. 30's going to the inside. And I believe he's going to go for the position right here. Now I'm going to say pit road is probably going to start getting really busy. We have hit the 30 to go. And this is about the window that they've been making on these green flag runs right here. So we should start seeing takers to pit road. And Wimbish, 56 car, he's a taker. Back up front, though, McFadden is not a taker yet. Neither is Tommy Haynes. Neither is the 51 of Michael Mueller. 29 laps to go this time, and there we got a taker. Now two. 17, 51, both coming to pit road. Man, look at the entry the 51 got. You might not think it's much, but he was able to eke out about a half a car length right there on the 17 or so. He's going to move down to the bottom, keep that half a car length going to pit road. Makes a nice stop in his box. Right side tires going on the M2 Speed Lab car. Left side's going to come up in the air. This will be his final pit stop. We've seen he was in the third position when he pitted. The 32 car, though, why they're making green flag pit stops here, will be the car to keep an eye on. Gann in the 30 is going to stay out another lap. You see the 56 that has already been to pit road, looking to get his lap back right here as Gann's the leader. The 56, that'll put him, John Wimbish, right back on the tail end of the lead lap as the 17 of Tommy Haynes is coming off pit road now. 82 of Mike Franklin in second, 21 Brandon Freese in the third spot. 64 Jason Wells being scored in fourth right here. Now Cody Sleeper and Roy Fernandez coming off pit road. This is a driver I want to watch because we know the green flag pit stops, the final round of it are happening. And I'm thinking that this 32 car right here, in fact, got right inside his fuel window and brought it to pit road. So a lot of things will, it'll depend on how big of a lead he ends up with after this, because I'm pretty sure he's going to wind up with the lead. But you can look, just comparing him to Freese right here and Justin Gann, Mike Franklin. Clement's got 10 laps on his tires. 11 laps right now. And you look at Cody McFadden back in third, the only one that hasn't pitted. Actually, he may have pitted. No, probably not. That's the 10. Nope, he's coming to pit road now, the 10 of Gary May. So get back up here, and here's your leader, 32, Darren Clement. He will be the leader as May's on pit road. So timing and scoring is going to update it. It'll update the gap back to second. And let's see what it is when this driver crosses a line. That's Cody McFadden. It looks like the gap's going to be right at 4.6 seconds. But we've seen how much difference new tires made up. McFadden's got 3 laps on his tires. And Darren Clement, the 32, has got 12 laps on his tires now. So 25 laps to go. That's all that's left here at Michigan for Chase race number 2 of the Hyperdrive Cup Series at Swift Motorsports. That means we're 25 laps away from doing a few driver interviews and then possibly finding out who your final 8 drivers, or not final 8, stop saying that, who your next round of 8 drivers are going to be. So who's going to be the 4 eliminated and who's going to be the 8 that move on to round 2 in the chase. We'll find all that out in 24 laps. You can see a second been knocked off the lead so far. Cody McFadden able to take about a second off, and behind McFadden there's the 51, Michael Mueller. Right behind Mueller is the 56 of John Wimbish. Then you got Roy Fernandez in the 3, and he's kept company by the 0-1 there, Cody Sleeper, and the 17 of Tommy Haynes. That's 3 cars under a blanket. I'd almost think these guys are working together. As it gets later here, you got to find out who your friends are. See if they'll work with you so you can make a run at it. We're 23 to go right now. We've had 1 caution flag all night out of 90 laps complete. Really good racing. Probably 3 rounds of green flag pit stops. That caution flag was early, happened on about lap 3. So 3 rounds of green flag pit stops, and that's what has got us here. We are 91 complete, 22 laps away from figuring out who's going to win at Michigan. Race number 12 on this season, chase race number 2. That'd be 22 laps away from figuring out who your next round of 8 drivers is going to be in the chase. Clement holding on at 1.2 seconds right now, but I can tell you that 13's coming on like a wildfire. Cody, McFadden, those 10-lap fresher tires are just 10 or 11, looks like 11-lap fresher even. I mean, those tires are just golden right now. He's going to erase the gap that the 32 had, which was 4.6 seconds after they pitted. So 5 or 6 laps later, and that gap is now 0.7 of a second. And at any time now, you're going to see the front of that 13 car moving up even closer, 0.6 of a second. There's the 13. He's now in the frame in the picture. And McFadden's got a a little bit of time there on Mueller. Close to half a second, maybe 3 or 4 tenths. Oh, 32's coming to pit road again. Maybe he pitted too soon, and he in fact didn't have enough to go. So an interesting change of events right here. And Clement's going to bring it to pit road. We got a new leader. Wait a minute. We got a new leader that was the old leader before they went on that final round of green flag pit stops, and that's the 13 of Cody McFadden. The iBuyPower PC machine right here. McFadden needing a good run to solidify a top 8 in points. And I'll tell you what, there'd be no better way to do that than to knock down a win here at Michigan. 0.9 of a second is the advantage for this 13 car. But don't count this guy right here out. No, don't count him out. That's the 51 of Michael Mueller, 6-time winner this season. That's half the races, you say. But that 51 is one half of them. He's about a second behind McFadden, and the 51 is another driver racing for his chance to go into the next round of 8. I believe the 51 was sitting 10th in points, I've shown, but I'll check that again. Coming into tonight, yes. So he didn't have a ton of, spots to make up, and I'm not going to go and say that he won't make it in with a second place run here, because I think that might even go a long way to doing that. So he's having a great race tonight. He had bad luck last week, but that's turning around for him. And Mueller's about 16 laps away here from locking down a great finish at Michigan. So if you're tuned in, you're liking what you're hearing and seeing on the track, go ahead and give us a like. Sweet, but that's turning around. I have to turn that thing down. It was a little loud. So who do we got back in third? John Wimbish right here in the 56, and he's not far off the bumper of that 51 car. Wimbish driving that cheer wine paint scheme. He's going to pull right up on the bumper of Mueller now. And I can tell you these two drafting together are certainly closing the gap on the leader. The leader being the 13 right here of Cody McFadden. Four-tenths of a second, 14 laps to go at the line. Oh, yeah, it's going to get exciting now. 3 rounds of green flag pit stops puts us to 14 laps to go, and these drivers are this close at the end of the race. 13, 51, 56. Go back a little farther, in fourth, you're going to find the 30 of Justin Gans made his way up there. And I'll tell you what, if they get in line back here and quit racing each other hard, they can catch that lead draft. They're only back a couple seconds or so. They're showing 3.2 seconds back from the leaders, so they need to get it in line right here with the 30 and draft up there with 13 to go, and I think they'll have a shot at it. But if that happens, you're literally going to have 8. Well, it'll go all the way back to the 17 of Tommy Haynes in this group. That'll have a shot at it. And up front, the 13 is going to pull up to the bumper of the 28 of Andrew Mraz, and Mraz is going to be on the tail end of the lead lap, I believe. And he probably just come off pit road. I'm pretty sure these guys won't have to stop again. McFadden still has the lead. Battle for second. Mueller had it. Wimbish took it. 56 up to P2. No crossover move. They're going to get back in line. Try to chase down the 13. Not far to go. 0.2 of a second. The advantage. Now that's gone. 56 is there. I believe that the 28 of Andrew Mraz, since he's pulling away, probably just come off pit road. Three-car battle for the lead. I think if these guys back here can get that sorted out, that battle for the lead might become a lot bigger. And you see 4 cars right here all together right now. Battle for the lead, side by side. They're still battling, I think. No. The 56 drop connection. Battling for the lead. Oh, wow. You certainly hate to see that. John Wimbish in the 56 battling for the lead has lost connection. Man, what a change of events. So your leader's still going to be the 13 of McFadden. He's got the 51 of Michael Mueller in the second spot. They got 18 laps on their tires, and they're going to come to 9 to go this time. So these two drivers have about 3.2 second advantage over the third place driver, which is last week's winner, Justin Gann. Gann clearly coming in as the points leader, and that third place finish would lock him right in. These two would come real close. McFadden about 25 points out coming into here, so knocking down the win here go a long way for him, but I think that 51 maybe in the second spot there put himself close to safe to locking in. But I'm not going to pretend that I know math right here tonight real quick, and I do know math, but I'm not going to figure those points out in the top of my head like that. I'm just going to tell you the 13 was on the outside looking in and the 51 was on the outside looking in. And this driver in third's on the inside looking out. So Justin Gam winning last week, having a good solid run here tonight. Clearly going to lock him into the next round of 8 drivers. 82 of Mike Franklin, another one. Cody Sleeper, another driver who can lock in with a good finish, and Sleeper sitting in the 5th spot right now. You see there's Sleeper, and there's nobody behind these guys. Fernandez has dropped off of them a little bit in the 3, back in the 6th, and then you got Brandon Freese back in 7th. And Freese is even a little farther back, and then back to the front, 1.5 tenth. Just basically say a tenth of a second separating your first and second place drivers. The iBuy Power Machine, Cody McFadden in the 13, 51 of Michael Mueller behind him. Going to be 6 to go when they cross the line this time. 6 to go around Michigan Speedway for the Hyperdrive Cup Series at Swift Motorsports. Chase race number 2 of 5. That's exciting. It's an elimination chase, so 12 drivers are going to go to 8. That's going to go to 4 in a couple of more races, and we're going to have one race to race it out for a championship here. But this race is far from over with 6 to go. You see that a tenth of a second separating 1 and 2. In that 51 car, yes, that's right. I've said it probably 5 or 6 times. That guy's got 6 wins this season. You see the run he's going to use the draft a little bit, pull right up on the bumper of the 13. 5 to go. Now he's all over him. 51 all over the back bumper, pushing him down the straightaway. Pushing the 13 down the straightaway. They have about 2 seconds now. And that's going away. So the 30 has been catching them. And the distance he's back is about 1.9 seconds. I just don't know with 3 to go if he's going to have time. Or 4 to go. 1.8 seconds now. If they get side by side for the lead, that'll give the chance. That'll probably be the opportunity the 30 needs. And I can tell you, the 30's got a couple lap better tires than these guys have. We got 4 to go right now. Cody McFadden still the leader, 51. Michael Mueller second. 30 car, Justin Gann, 1.7 seconds back in third. Man, that 51's right there, and I think he's thinking the same thing I am, that if they jump out of line right here and start battling too quickly, that's just going to allow the 30 and a couple more guys to get right up there in this thing. But I'll tell you what, I think these guys might make it up there on their own. 3 laps to go. They're 1.4 seconds behind the 2 leaders. They have a 3-car draft. Man, this might be the thing here. 1.2 seconds now the gap back to the 3rd place driver. These 2 are separated by less than a tenth. The 51's been all over the bumper. 2 to go right now. I think on the white flag lap where it's time to go, and I think that 30 and a couple of those other guys, the 82 and the 01, might get themselves in the mix here, but we're going to find out. You see they're in the frame now. That's 3rd place back there, Cody McFadden or Justin Gann. Mike Franklin in the 82, 01 of Cody Sleeper. This is your top 5 right here, and are they going to finish under a blanket? Well, I can tell you Gann's only about 0.6 of a second back there now. But last lap, final lap right here. White flag's out, 1 more time to go for the 13 of Cody McFadden. Look at the 51. He gets the run on him. Going to take a look to the bottom of the track. McFadden's going to fight back in the middle. McFadden's going to keep the lead going down the back straightaway for the final time. You see Gann back there with the 82 on his bumper. They're trying to get there, but I don't think it's going to be enough time. 1 more shot for the 51 going into turn 3. They're side by side. The 51's going to power to the lead right here. 13's dropping off the pace. Is he out of fuel? I think the 13's out of fuel. Cody McFadden running on empty. 51 of Michael Mueller is going to capture his 7th win of the season. The 30 of Justin Gann's going to bring it home P2. Mike Franklin in the 82 is going to sneak home 3rd. And Cody Sleeper in the 01 will be 4th. And Cody McFadden's going to, I believe he ran out of fuel. Falling back to the 5th position here, but Michael Mueller sitting 10th in points, needing to lock himself in to the next round of 8. He needed a good run in Michigan. I said it last week. I said I'm not really worried about the 51 because he's got 6 wins on the season, and he's a driver that can go into Michigan and come out with a win. Well, it took him turns 3 and 4 of the last lap. But in fact, this driver right here, the 51 of Michael Mueller, is your winner at Michigan. The points will be tallied up. They'll probably be working on that while I'm doing the interview here. And hopefully they get it done before we get out of the broadcast. In fact, I'll wait for it. Let's get that winner up here in the booth here. Michael Mueller, Vern Bradley up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
And 7 wins this season, and one of those 7's in Chase race number 2. Tell me how that feels.
It's a good way. It's a good way. We didn't have the race we did last week, so I mean, definitely glad to kind of chose to start in the back there and kind of let everything do its thing. And man, that was close. Ran out at the line, so that's a good race, though.
Yeah, he looked like the 13 ran out a little bit before you, and you able to stretch it out and run it out of field there at the line, but you needed a great finish tonight. You were,
yeah, I mean,
a little bit on the outside, right? A little bit on the outside, looking in on points, but man, you got it done tonight, Michael Mueller.
Oh yeah, it was. I knew as soon as I saw him saving late. I mean, I was saving that whole last run because I knew it was going to be close. So I knew when I saw him backing up the corner super heavy, he was probably worse off than I was. And I had a crew chief up there, Jake Clarkson, really appreciate him for doing all the fuel for me. And when he told me to go, he said go, and I ended up getting a run on Cody. So I was like, I'm going to push him. I'm going to help that fuel for him just a little bit here.
Well, so, I think if you had jumped out of line, that would have brought the 30 and the 82 and them up to you before that thing got over with.
Yeah, I mean, I was way off pace. I mean, saving. I mean, we were clutching and shutting it off and getting it back going again, and there was a lot of saving there. And I knew they were good to go because I think they pit a lap after I did. So when I saw them coming, I knew they were good.
Yeah, they were about 2 laps. About 2 laps they had on you guys on the fuel tank. So I knew you would be close, man. But I thought both of you at 27 laps would have enough. But I was a little off on my calculation, so.
And the crew chief was like, "You're gonna have enough for a burnout." And I saw the fuel pressure come out at 4, and I said, "Maybe I'll make it to victory lane." We don't know yet. We're gonna be close. We're gonna shut it off all the way to at least get here. So no burnouts, unfortunately. But
you got it to victory lane at Michigan, Chase race number 2 right here. And when you hear the broadcast or you rewatch it, last week's, after you had trouble, I said I wasn't worried about the 51 because he is definitely a driver that can race his way out of it in Michigan. And
yeah, I mean,
you can't come to Michigan and win.
Yeah, this is a good track for me. We always had good success here. It's kind of new package is kind of tough where it kind of turns into a plate race essentially on fresh tires. So trying to be easy and navigate traffic and kind of just pick and choose your lines. Hopefully it spread out like it did tonight where we can get some green flag runs and have a pit strategy come into play. Definitely our strong suit.
Well, it worked out for you. I mean, I hated to see, and you probably did too, the 13 run out of fuel there at the end. But that opened up the door for you completely. But I think you had it even if you hadn't. I mean, you had a great run down there in 3 and 4, and you got it done on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, he was quick, and I knew it was going to be a hard fight. I really like to fight, when we both have the same amount of fuel and have to drag race it to the line. That's the best battles, but at this point, I'll take any. I don't care what battle I get. I'll take them all at this point.
Well, it worked out for you tonight, Michael Mueller. Congratulations, buddy. You have anyone you want to thank why I got you up here?
M2 Speed Labs, Lowline Racing for letting me do this every single week. Jake for being my crew chief tonight. Andrew Mraz, my teammate. Unfortunately, he didn't have the night he wanted. We kind of roles reversed there from last week to this week. So
I was thinking that actually.
yeah, we had such a good regular season. We had to switch swap. Unfortunately, it's the chase, so it's kind of tough when you switch swap in the chase. So especially with the cutoff. Don, Andy, Justin, you guys in the booth. I'm not gonna be able to race probably anymore this season, so this is my last hurrah for this season. So it's nice to go out on top. Yeah. So we won't be back. I mean, we'll try to be back, but I doubt it. So unless I can race one-armed, I mean, we'll see.
Well, hopefully you can make it back for a race or two, and it's really a shame that we won't see you compete, the final 3 races and race for a championship right here, Michael. It's been a great season, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes it a little bit worse. We've had this great of a season. We're not going to be able to finish it out, but you never know. I mean, we may race one-armed. You never know. We'll see. We'll see how the week progresses. So I want to say I'm out of it, but I don't know.
I have a friend that in fact did that, and he was still very competitive. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we may have to. Tuesday, or Wednesday, I'll be home. So maybe.
Well, you got a couple days of practice with the one arm then.
I'll be home Wednesday. So I mean, I got Wednesday and Thursday.
You got 1 day of practice.
I got 1 day.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I think you can do it, man. 7 wins with 2 arms ought to be worth a win or 2 with 1, right?
That's what I'm. If my math is right, I'm not
3.5. 3.5.
Yeah,
right? 3.5 wins.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll give it a go. So I mean, we'll see. I don't want to say I'm out of it. Most likely I am, but if there's any way I can race the rest of this season, you best bet this 51 is going to be in the lineup. So we'll see.
Surgery on the arm or something there, Michael. Whatever it is, man. We wish you all the best on it.
No, I appreciate it, Vern. It just happens. I mean, it happens. What are you going to do? I really wanted to push it back a little bit because I knew we had a good, just because of this, it's just kind of, everybody's like, huh, you want to push it back because of sim racing? I'm like, this means a lot. I mean, with the season we've had, so couldn't do it. So, like I said, we'll see. I'm never going to count anything out. But.
I understand it completely, and if you don't make it back, man, I wish you a speedy recovery so we do see you back next season. Michael Mueller, congratulations, man. Celebrate it. Have fun. And hopefully, it'd be awesome to see you competing with one arm, though. I had a buddy that actually, he one-legged it, Michael Mueller. Yeah. It wasn't one arm, he one-legged it. He broke his leg.
I mean, technically, with the cars nowadays, I mean, we really don't need a brake except pit road. I mean, we just lift nowadays with the package. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. At least we don't have a road course. We have just lefts. So, I mean, we can work on it.
Yeah, you might be able to do something there, but, man, it'd be awesome to see you out there and doing it. But if not, I understand it completely, man, and I wish you a speedy recovery.
I appreciate it, Vern. You guys do a heck of a job all year, and even though if I'm not here, I'll still be watching on Thursday night. So,
well, I appreciate the heck out of that, man, and take care of yourself. Get some practice in, though. We'd really like to see you come out and try that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna sit here and we'll give it a go, and I'll probably have my teammate with me. We'll see. We'll try to do something.
All right, man. Enjoy this win. Congratulations on 7 on the season.
Thank you, sir.
That was your winner, Michael Mueller, finishing P1 tonight. In second place, miraculously, was last week's winner. Justin Gann, Vern Bradley in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
What's up, Vern?
All right, from Victory Lane the second, right here at Michigan. And, man, I'll tell you, another lap, and that might have been Victory Lane at Michigan, too.
I was hoping I was going to be able to catch them, and I was pushing as hard as I could. And, I seen them, too, when they pit, and I'm like, they were going to run out of fuel. They got to run out of fuel, and somehow he had enough.
He had just enough to get to the line. One of them didn't. And I hated it to see it for Cody McFadden, but he ran a little bit short. And I was looking at the lap, so I knew that you and Mike Franklin and Cody Sleeper were good. I knew you were good on fuel, but I knew it was going to be tough if they had enough fuel to make up that distance that you guys had to overcome.
Really saved on that first run to be able to run it out pretty hard, the next three. And, I was able to do it, but I just didn't have enough to catch Mike.
Yeah, you just needed it looked like you needed another lap there, Justin. I think another lap would have put you guys right up there in the battle.
We would have had him. One more lap, it would have been done.
One more lap, and you would have won both chase races.
What if, but he had a hell of a strategy, and it worked out for him. So congratulations to him. And, I had a blast doing it. It was really fun racing tonight.
Man, it was a great race you guys put on. I won caution flag, but it happened on lap 3. So you guys got several green flag pit stops after that. What, three of them there?
Yeah, there's a group of us. I think it was me, Mike, and I think 2 other guys that were pitting there together with each other, and I mean, everybody just did a great job.
Yeah, you guys had a nice group together for a while, and I know the 82 of Franklin, Mike Franklin, got 3rd, and he was one of them. I believe the 01 was another one, and I think even the 3-car Roy Fernandez was up there with you guys for a while. So you had a good group working on it, but we know that one more lap would have changed everything, Justin, but I'm going to tell you from two chase races so far, race number 12 on the season, you get a win last week in chase race number 1, and your second in chase race number 2, so you're going to the round of 8, man.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat that.
So you'll have a couple more races when you get there to go to that final 4, and you'll race it out for a championship. And the 30 has gained a lot of momentum late and early in the chase. So you definitely got to be feeling pretty comfortable going into that next round, Justin.
Yeah, Charlotte, I'm not too worried about, but that Richmond is where it's going to be a struggle. But just make it through and survive is all we got to do. That's
right. That's the attitude to have about it too. Man, you guys put on a heck of a show again this week. I have to tell you that it was just a heck of a race there at the end.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Me and Mike, we connected a little bit there, and we had a good battle for that second spot. So it was fun. Yeah,
and I mean, green flag pit stops the whole race long, and there's 3 opportunities right there to make a mistake on pit road entry, and for 5 cars to finish that close is crazy. With all that green flag racing, for 5 cars to be that close is really crazy.
Yeah, it was, coming onto pit road was pretty tough, but, just all you got in the back of your mind is don't speed.
Exactly. Or get loose or anything where you get an unsafe laying a tire off in the grass.
Oh, yeah.
But, Justin, man, congratulations on winning last week and then finish second here at Michigan this week. Do you have anyone you want to thank while we got you up here, buddy?
Yeah, I've got to give a shout out to the Team 4X, Brandon and Casey. We all ran pretty well together tonight. Casey had a unfortunate pit stop, but he had a really strong car tonight. I got to thank all the admins up in the tower. Got to thank the sponsor on the car, RB Riggs, and thank you up in the booth.
Well, I want to thank you, Justin, for having me up in the booth, buddy, and I look forward to watching that 30 race the rest of the chase here. I know you got the momentum on your side, man, and I wish you the best of luck, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Justin. Have a great night, man.
Yep, you too.
So that was second place finisher Michigan here, and winner of chase race number 1, and league owner Justin Gann. So we're going to get our third place finisher up in the booth here. Mike Franklin, this is Vern Bradley up in the WFO booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Sure, I got a copy.
Man, top 3 tonight. It changed in lap 3 and 4. That's where that top 3 opened up, but you were able to get it in the top 3. What What do you think another lap would have did for you, Mike?
I think another lap, I don't know what, at least got second.
It at least got you one more, huh? Yeah, because I
Correct.
think if there had been another lap, in fact, the winner would have ran out of fuel.
He ran out the start finish line. He sure did. And Justin, he was going to be hard to pass. So I mean, I tried on that last lap, and we kind of got together, and both of us made it to the start finish line. So that's what matters.
It is, and you got there P2. You were fifth in points, I think is what I seen on the website coming into tonight. So you get a third place finish here at Michigan, and I'd say that pretty safely is going to move you to the round of 8.
Yeah, I was hoping for a real good run tonight, and I think with the different gas strategies, and I think by staying out a few extra laps each time helped make it to the end without having to make another stop or slow down to save fuel. That's for sure.
Yeah, in fact, it looks like the points have now been updated on the website. As I'm taking a look at the standings, and you are safely in the round of 8, Mike. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate it.
And you got a top podium finish here at Michigan. That's got to be feeling good. A little bit more confidence going into next week.
Oh yeah, and Charlotte's another good racetrack for me. Mile and a half, which I tend to be pretty good at. So we'll just have to see how it goes next week, because I know everybody's going to be fast at Charlotte. It's just one of those tracks that's just fast for everybody.
Well, how do you feel about Richmond?
Richmond is up and down. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. It's just depending on how short track racing comes about when it comes to those kind of tracks.
Well, man, I'll tell you what. You've shown speed this season. I know there's some of the tracks that, like everybody, you've had problems here or there, but for the most part, you've had a lot of consistency this season, Mike.
Yeah, I just try to drive smart. Don't drive over my head, and bring the car home in one piece, because you can't finish a race if you don't have a car.
Exactly. You're exactly right. You got to have a car to finish the race, man. And I couldn't have put it better myself. And you've done a great job of doing that this season. You've been one of the drivers that I've seen keep it together and show that consistency.
Right. If I could just get out of this third place funk, I think I'd be doing even better.
Well, man, you only got a couple more spots to make up to knock off that win this season, and there's no better place to do it than the Chase, Mike.
That's right. Just keep running those top fives, and that win will eventually come.
It'll definitely get there for you, and man, I'll tell you what, I'm happy to see you finish in the top 3 in the podium here at Michigan. You have anyone you want to thank?
I just want to thank the fans out there for watching. You there in the booth, WFO, Swift Motorsports, and all the drivers that we race with. We've had a lot of respectful drivers, and I think that's what makes it really fun.
Well, we are definitely going to be keeping an eye on you next week in Charlotte, and like I said, regardless of coming out of there, I wish you the best of luck in Richmond and the rest of the season, Mike.
All right, man. I do appreciate it.
Great to have you in the booth again, man. Look forward to talking to you some more.
Hey, hopefully I'll get to talk to you again next week.
We'll get it up there. Put her up in the top 3, man.
I'm definitely gonna bear down and try.
And it even after Iowa, what I plan, or not Iowa, but after Richmond, I plan on getting the 4 drivers that make it to the Final 4 at Phoenix into the booth. So instead of doing 3, we'll do 4.
Well, that's definitely the goal, is to make it to that Final 4. So,
well, let's wish you good luck getting there, buddy.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
I thank you.
That's Mike Franklin, your third place finisher, and I have in front of me, not to switch gears on you too fast, but I have in front of me, and I have saved it, and I'm going to open it up and put it on my screen for you is what I'm going to do, or at least what I'm going to try to do, and we'll see how that works out, but we're going to try it right here. And There it is, coming up right middle of the screen, like I didn't want it to do. I wanted to surprise you a little bit more than that, but I didn't. Jonathan Cogswell, I think you're going to be pretty pleased if you're watching this broadcast of what I just put in the middle of the screen. What, in fact, you are looking at is the brand new Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series Round of 8 Chase Bracket. Justin Gann with a win and a second place finish at Michigan here. Going to lock it in at the top spot. Jason Wells in the 64. Congratulations. Congratulations, you are in the round of 8. Tommy Haynes in the 17. Congrats to you, buddy. You're in that round of 8. Roy Fernandez in the 3 has made the round of 8. Mike Franklin, third place finish tonight. Just talked to him in the booth in the 82. He's in the round of 8. Michael Mueller, we heard that we want to wish Michael a speedy recovery. Hopefully he can come back in that 51 car. 7 wins this season, including here at Michigan. Hopefully he can come back and one-arm it for those final 3 races. I think that'd really be awesome to see. But Michael Mueller in the 51 has made the round of 8. Cody Sleeper in the 0-1 with a very strong performance. Cody, shout out to you, able to bring it home P4 tonight at Michigan. And that's going to be enough to lock the 0-1 into the round of 8. Congratulations, Cody. Jonathan Cogswell, congratulations to you once again with that 27. If you're still watching, I knew you'd be happy when I put that up there, that you made the final round of 8. There's 4 drivers, and all 4 of them at some point tonight really battled hard for it. John Wimbish in the 56, he battled for it. Cody McFadden in the 13 literally ran out of fuel coming out of turn 4 and going to the start-finish line. So tough break for the 13. He had a fast hot rod tonight, and he's going to miss that round of 4, and we hate it for you, man. Blair Patterson, another one. Stayed out, led some laps after the first caution. Raced up front most of the race, but the 91 of Blair Patterson, unfortunately, is not going to move on to the round of 8. And the real surprise, and he had, a tough race here, and he didn't have the best race last week. I think he was 12th or 13th. That's going to be the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Will not go on to the round of 8. Man, I tell you, Mraz had more momentum, in my opinion, than anyone coming up to the end of the season, and that's a really big surprise for me. But Andrew has had a great season over here, as well as most all of the drivers. And we still need all the drivers to come out and compete week in and week out. We can't just turn over and let the guys in the round of 8 compete. We want to see a field of drivers out there compete. Make these guys race for that round of 4. And make them race for a championship. Heck, make them race for wins. Because even though you're not in the round of 8, doesn't mean you're not in it to win it, man. Come out and have fun. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about in the broadcast booth, coming out and having fun watching these drivers. 1 caution flag over 113 laps, and it literally happened on lap 3. I want to thank everyone that tunes in and week out. Make sure you share the heck out of this. Get it out there. All the drivers, the league administrators, the owner over here at Swift, they all deserve that. Get them the views, the likes, the subscriptions. Get them all that. These guys deserve it on Thursday night. A lot of fun here. Watch another great race in the Cup Series. And I will see you, in fact, at Charlotte next week, when we go into our first round of 8, and that'll be over the next 2 races. So that's going to start at Charlotte next week. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in Charlotte. Have a great night.